It's the first day of school for Marcus and Max, two recent arrivals to this leafy South London suburb.
好啦，你入去拜拜媽媽啦。哥哥，拜拜啦 ，Marcus, Max.
It's a big moment for Simon Ho, who moved his family here from Hong Kong over fears that sweeping changes imposed by mainland Chinese authorities were changing the face of the city he once called home.
The environment of education in Hong Kong is turning very bad. Yeah, not gradually, it is sharply turn bad. So, especially about talking about the history of Hong Kong and how they treat the history of China in the teaching material. One of the friends, she told me that if her kids starting to continue to study in Hong Kong, some of them they need to have two different thinking in the teaching material, but when they are at home talking with the mother or father, they will have another story. She told me that it is not good for the growth of the kids in such environment.
Ho is among some 140,000 Hong Kongers who applied to move to the United Kingdom under the British National Overseas Visa Scheme. Hong Kongers who were born in the city prior to the end of British colonial rule in 1997 were granted the status of British National Overseas and qualified for BNO passports. In June 2020, Beijing imposed a national security law on Hong Kong to prevent, stop and punish succession, subversion of state power, terrorism and foreign interference. The controversial law gives authorities sweeping powers to crack down on dissent, with arrests and the threat of serious jail time. London responded by offering Hong Kongers with BNO status a visa, giving them the right to live and work in the UK with a pathway to British citizenship. Beijing and Hong Kong have since said they would no longer recognise BNO passports as valid travel documents. This is what brought me to this neighbourhood 20 kilometres from central London. Some of those taking up the UK's offer to relocate are choosing South London neighbourhoods like Sutton, New Malden and Kingston, areas known for good schools, a big motivator for the growing community of Hong Kongers.
The quality of the school and the environment of Kingston is as good as Sutton actually. When we go to the high street, we see Hong Kongers. We want to talk about it because it is every language there is English. Suddenly you can hear Cantonese. The feeling is quite strange. Yeah, the community of Hong Kong is getting bigger in London, this area.
Walking down the high street here in Sutton, and you really get a sense of how this influx of Hong Kongers is changing the way this high street looks. At this property agency, it's advertising new listings in Chinese. And right next door is a Chinese supermarket which opened 7 months ago. While only 16% of people in Hong Kong are Christians, the share of Hong Kongers coming here seems higher, with many finding a new spiritual community in their adopted home. One place where some migrants from Hong Kong are turning to for community are churches, with Cantonese-speaking congregations growing across the country.
愛我哋嘅上帝聖父聖子聖靈，願你打開天窗傾福與我哋，令到我哋嘅心被你嘅恩膏去融化。
Reverend Khan Yu moved to the UK from Hong Kong 20 years ago. When she noticed that her part of southwest London was a popular destination for new arrivals from Hong Kong, she helped to found a fellowship group to welcome them. The group is affiliated with this church in Sutton. Today, the turnout for the church's Cantonese services has grown considerably.
Yeah, when we first started, we didn't expect a lot. We had around 60 plus, including children. But after a year, and we just celebrated 2 weeks ago, and we have grown around 300, including children and teenagers.
As an immigrant herself, Yu knows all too well the challenges of starting over in a new country. The fellowship offers Hong Kongers a way to share their language, culture, and a place to express their feelings.
I would say to adjust the way of living or the style of living is not easy. And not only that, not only the culture, but also the language, and also your friendship, your network is very different. And some people it's easier to cope with that, and some people find it harder. And for those find it more difficult, actually emotionally, they will easily to go inward.
One of the church's newest members is this man, who asked that we call him Jones.
We just moved in England about 1 month ago. Hopefully, our daughters, they can start a new future here. It's tough, to be honest. It's, we didn't think about to move out our homeland, Hong Kong. We didn't think about it. But since the circumstances is getting worse recently, we make a big sacrifice. I don't feel comfortable, to be honest. I'm not sure the people, especially the local, how they think of us. A lot of Hong Kong people come here to raise up the prices of the housing and the place for living. You know, it's difficult to find place to rent recently, and also for us as well. So.
It's so many sacrifices, leaving your home, your family, spending, a lot of money. Like, do you regret it? Is it worth it?
Sometimes I have a feeling that, what's for? I think in a difficult time I will have a flash to think about it, what's for. But as soon as I can see my children, I always see they have a big smile, happy face and hair, then I think it's worth it.
Would you consider going back to Hong Kong?
Not really.
Why not?
Because it's the main reason why I'm here is for the children, and if I go back there, I cannot see that they have future over there. I don't want them to go back there. Yeah.
都可以啊，係啊。上次見到When I see my kids are very happy living here, I didn't feel any regret. But I just think worrying about how to adapt to the environment, especially for our adults. And finding the job. And learning to driving and get a driving license. This is much more I worry about that more than other things. I didn't feel regret about it, especially if you keep on receiving the news of Hong Kong. So I don't think any people coming to United Kingdom will feel too much regret about that. But if Hong Kong really getting better and it is safe for us, we really want to back to Hong Kong. Visiting or living, I don't know. Just see the condition. Actually, I think it is pity for Hong Kong, and I really miss Hong Kong. I see many of my friends are really a talent or a professional in Hong Kong in different areas. But it is a pity for Hong Kong that such kind of people live in Hong Kong.